First, very much to artists and we should be first find out very
Okay, we can do better. Moving on, I would like to introduce some things one list from the University of Media and Communication, the Institute of Journalism. We have the head of department, Monsieur Dixon Amenhor. We have Dr. Mabel Littlefield. We also have Mr. Rexford Jesse Boateng and Mr. David Danfa. All these people are lecturers at the Department of Creative Writing, sorry, Department of Language and then Communication Skills here at the University of Media, Arts and Communication, Institute of Journalism. Around well, now it's time to take the keynote address from the keynote speaker. And we were supposed to have the rector of the Institute of Journalism now, but due to some circumstances, we will not be able to make it. But will be duly represented by Mr. David Danwan.
thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm here on behalf of the writer of the Institute of Justice. Love to be here this morning to deliver the keynote address. But for circumstances beyond this control to come. And so I am stepping in his shoes. I don't really where the sense I began, but I'll manage to fit into his shoes this morning, deliver the keynote address. So, what I would say, uh, distinguished guests, my able is here between my colleague lecturers on paid writing, department of education. They are also here. And to all our students who have really seen this as the opportunity here. A good morning to you all. And so I will go straight to the speech and read as it is here. Esteemed writers, students, participants, I'm truly honored to stand before you today to deliver the keynote speech at the seventh edition of African Writers Conference or African Writers Development Trust in collaborating with Writers Space Africa, Writers Space Ghana chapter, and the Department of Language and Communication Skills of DIMA ING on the theme the impact of artificial intelligence on African literature. The theme of this conference is both timely and thought-provoking as it presents with us an opportunity to reflect on the evolving landscape of storytelling and creativity in the digital age and its significance to the rich tapestry of African literature. Literature, as we know it, has always been a mirror of has always been a mirror reflecting the society it emerged and the integration of artificial intelligence into the field of African literature marks a significant turning point, one that merits careful consideration. African literary tradition is steeped in a deep and unveiling history, a heritage that is back millennia, once a multitude of cultures and languages from the oral tradition passing down through generations, the written works that have flourished on the African continent. More recent times, African literature has continued evolved, reflecting of the triumphs and tribulations of its people. Today, we find ourselves at a crossroads where the tools of artificial intelligence reshaping how stories are told and shared and experienced. Now, I turn my attention to the evolution of African literature. African literature resonates as a testament of the continent's intricate tapestry of cultures and histories. Our literary journey traces back through time with oral tradition acting as a foundation of storytelling. How people where our ancestors started by the fireside sharing tales of valor, wisdom, and ancestry. These oral narratives passed from one generation to the next are in our collective of memory. It is not new knowledge that culture and tradition have created profound influence to our culture over the past few decades. Each community, beliefs, and practices have shaped the narratives, choose stories with vibrant authenticity. The storytellers, often revered as keepers of heritage, wove tales that connected the present to the past. This seamless blend of culture and storytelling has allowed us to share social and moral lessons, emotions, and experiences of life. Talk about the popular Amazon proteins that do not only entertain but teach us moral lessons. Like a river, the African literary landscape has flowed through challenges and embraced changing times. Challenges like colonialism disrupted the flow, imprinting foreign languages and narratives on our literary canvas. However, in recent times, the release of our writers embedded by colonial chapters read narratives that reflect our multifaceted realities despite challenges like limited access to publishing platforms and the difficulty of preserving people's life videos threatened by extinction. Thanks to these writers, we have moved from teaching literature in our high schools, especially solely for foreign stories, to using and appreciating our own and our own for educational pleasure purposes. Some of these people, those readers here by the late Alan Reading, the course are played by Olam Street, the type of a woman, with the joys of motherhood, like Gucci, the Vegeta, Faceless by Amman and Coffin, No Grave by James and you among others. That extend our protection to how we understand artificial intelligence, especially when it comes to the realm of our literature. Artificial intelligence, simply and commonly known as IA, has stepped from the field of science fiction to become an integral part of our life today. It encompasses a wide variety of technologies, from machine learning to natural language processing that stimulate human intelligence and performs tasks that are typically requires human intelligence, such as learning, using, problem solving, and language comprehension. At its core, AI aims at mimicking our capacity to learn, reason, and solve problems. The applications of AI are manifold and its influence on literature, including African literature, can be predicted. The majority of people across the globe, if not everywhere, has in one way or the other heard of artificial intelligence. AI's transformative potential is undeniable. Day by day, we see how it is shaping industries and societies from healthcare to finance, from healthcare to finance to education to entertainment and all other parts of society. It ability to process vast amounts of data and unparalleled speed has opened new frontiers in research, communication, and even decision making, among other things. Because growth is not just a technological trend, but paradigm shifts with far-reaching implications. In healthcare, for instance, AI aids the diagnosis of diseases with unprecedented accuracy in finance algorithms predict market trends and manage portfolios. Fields like agriculture, education, transportation have also witnessed the integration of AI-driven solutions. African industries too stand to benefit by harnessing AI's power to address challenges and drive innovation. We recognize the role of artificial intelligence in amplifying human potential and making our lives easy. But the question remains, can we say the same of literature and African literature at this point? AI's impact on African literature is enormous. Now, looking at the mass hysteria of the advent of AI has recently brought about in our society, one may wonder how much of an impact AI is having or going to have on literature, especially African literature. Some schools of thought compare the impact of AI on African literature to a bridge between the past and the future. They believe that preservation, digitization, AI offers a lifeline to endangered indigenous languages and stories. How? By transcribing oral narratives and translating ancient texts, AI aids in preserving our linguistic diversity and cultural legacy for generations to come. African boasts a linguistic diversity, the diversity that is unparalleled with thousands of languages spoken across the continent. AI-driven translation and language preservation tools are helping bridge the gap between these languages, facilitating sharing of stories and ideas. AI tools also bring in a new dimension to research and memory analysis. The ability to process about all of them in seconds, providing insight that would otherwise take years to uncover from identifying retail voices across different ways, analog radio styles, AI enhances the depth of literary scholarship, fostering a deeper understanding of narratives. Also, the emergence of AI-generated content sparks new excitement and contemplation. AI can craft stories, compose poems, and generate dialogues, offering a novel perspective on creativity. However, it also raises questions about the essence of human imagination and the authenticity of AI-generated content. It is therefore important for writers to strike a balance between AI-assisted styles, human ingenuity as they explore this uncharted territory. Challenges and opportunities are real. Although artificial intelligence presents opportunities to business users, it also poses problem challenges and it is important we consider them. If we want to make the best out of it, if we want to integrate AI into African culture, as some have already started doing, confronting biases in AI and ensuring culturally sensitive presentation is paramount. AI can intentionally perpetuate stereotypes, emphasizing the need for diverse training, data, and regional insight. By fostering a dialogue between AI and knowledge, writers, and powerful experts, we can create an interactive that respects our diverse narratives. It is easy for people to get carried away by finding that comes with AI tools, causing them to lose themselves in the process. As it becomes us to carefully navigate the act between shape and technology. Everything in our technology shouldn't overshadow the importance of preserving our heritage. We must find ways and means to join technology or technological advancement with respect for our global traditions and people's knowledge, and also ensuring that AI complements our cultural values and not to take over it. In recent times, we have seen several conversations about integration of AI in literature, and one thing that runs almost all these conversations is the need for the human element, sentiment, and emotion that AI does not have. While AI can assist in various aspects of the creative process, it cannot replace the unique perspective, empathy, emotions, and cultural insight that human rights have in their works. Next, the need and importance of the human factor. African literature is deeply rooted in the human experience, and our voices, stories, and perspectives remain irreplaceable. Meanwhile, collaborations between AI and human writers can open doors to unprecedented creativity. AI tools can spark new ideas, enhancing the reading process. Human AI partnership can offer fresh perspectives, ignite innovation while taming the depth of human emotions and instincts. As such, instead of leaving all of our work to AI, African writers must make the help and speed of literature where we want it to go with AI on our side. Empowering African writers is also an important consideration. AI-powered tools have opened up new avenues for African writers, experience simultaneous as writers as calligraphy, literature. AI-driven platforms provide opportunities for writers from remote and marginalized regions to access writing and reading resources, connect with readers and fellow writers, and share ideas and share their stories with a global audience, breaking language barriers and introducing African literature to a new bunch of readers around the world. The democratization of literature is a powerful force that can amplify diverse voices and narratives from across the continent and create positive impact, even in the least, even if in the least way. Lastly, AI can assist writers in generating content, aiding in brainstorming process, suggesting plot twists, make characters something conceptual, and giving automatic generating poetry or prose, though not advice. While some may argue that this strengthens the authenticity of human creativity, it also serves as a vehicle or a tool for inspiring, complementing the writer's effort and helping them to become writers explore. In the middle, the significance of artificial intelligence in architecture is a call to action, a call to embrace the roots of the future while looking at the sense of our past power. It is crucial that African writers and creators are at the forefront of the dialogue around the use of AI in literature. We must contribute to shaping the development and the deployment of these technologies. Ensure they serve our creative vision and broader cultural and societal goals of our countries. We embrace the potential of AI that also remains steadfast and committed to the value of fiber literature. Storytelling that reflects our diverse culture, humor, and our history, and that speaks to the challenges and aspirations of our people. The stories we tell, whether through traditional prose poetry and the new immersive mediums, have the power to educate, connect Africa across borders and generations. As such, let us move forward with a shared commitment, honor our cultural heritage, amplify our voices through AI, and craft a literary landscape that resonates for generations to come. I am immensely optimistic about the future of African literature with the hint of AI. Together, as writers and creators, let us enhance the power of technology to amplify our voices, to tell to celebrate the rich tapestry of the African literature. And thank you so much for your attention. And I look forward to the inspiring discussion and collaborations that we get from this conference. So on behalf of the rector, I render a sincere thanks to you all for your audience. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abel. That was a very exciting keynote address for me. Something that I picked from the keynote address was if something must be done, it must be done well. If we are incorporating AI into African literature, we must make sure that it's implementing our culture and not actually taking out the essential part of it. I know most of you are agree. Isn't that so? Yeah. All right, let's move on. Up next is a spoken word performance by Conan Cheto. Around Congress, Montreal.
Good morning. Here to speak on the theme, the rector, about the impact of artificial intelligence on literature. I wish that everywhere I speak, you have been hear from every readings of the bits given to you. Things have one facts, facts. Our times in will not hold if its power is dominated by robotic invasion. During the reign of native tales and native tales, the roots of my letters were purely forged, not breathed without influence of a program intelligence. I was always expressed with a richness of transatlantic thoughts and with a from brain shouting of emotions. I was never affected by any switch on, switch off minds. Triggered strives, filled with allegiance and prudence. That man lasts, not smart. I was keeping a scribble with Nanon's ink brush, leather instruction written not rely on internet consumption. Read out from his experiences. I was trapped on my travels by the heat of liquids. Transmutation of my standard and life that I brings in case of peace. The publication of my alphabets. How the groups qualify and hunt for the well please drink over instead of diets. But by true knowledge, help into their remotes. I'm not using my daily shot like GPT, but I'm happy of environmental knowledge. I'm very using my British skills for functionality. What can I skills for functionality? I will just continue with the focus. Thank you. For one house performance. My career planning work. The construction of my children and lights the minds of my listeners around campus looking. Now it's time for the panel discussion. As you can see, the face of the panelists are displayed on the projector and on the panel as well. Without much ado or much I say, I humbly introduce the moderator, Miss Elizabeth Damina Ansari, to take over the discussion. The round of applause.
John Akbari, and I'll be the moderator for today's session. For today's session, we have usually pay organization. So, Mrs. Matika is my replacing Mrs. Vicky Vidal. We have told me I couldn't like from the something akhirnya kinerja pun such a it's really good to be I also that's my percent that and I really also want to make it useful moment to use the guidance you this month. Thank you very much. Really, really, thank you. I think it's good. I'm very happy to be here. See you all beautiful and handsome people. It's Good morning, everyone. My name is Nahida Ismail. I'm from the land of Kilimanjaro, Tanzania. Just in case you didn't know, the highest mountain in Tanzania. I'm a mother of two baby daughters, and I'm a writer. I'm written and I've published around 30 books. And I hope now that I'm inspired by the Ghanaian writers, I hope to write books. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Paris. I think we all like she said she's written 30 books. But it's not hard. What 30? But it is inspiring to hear an African who has done something extraordinary in her field. Because sometimes we hear of writers, we go by the title writers, but then there's nothing to prove or show that you've done something in this field. Thank you so much. I really without much ado, let the panel discussion begins. So the initial key for this discussion is the impact of artificial intelligence on African relationship. Alright. Let me cooking gender rights. We have a relationship we do we are disabled and achievable. Alright, Mrs. Landida, what do you know about artificial intelligence? What I know about artificial intelligence is that it's not only intelligent and it's make up. Okay, that's number one.
Excuse me. Excuse me. I think what I find is that there is an enormous computer power, uh, information is fed into that computer power. And what AI does is that it is very good at mimicking what is presented. And I think, how good is it, who is putting information into the system of what's biases in there. So for example, they can put information in there, the light can show. Um, there is this study. When AI start to give images of, for example, engineers, doctors, mechanics, military, uh, 75% to 100% of these illustrations were male dominated, right? So these are things that who's putting the information in there, the Bible show. So that's what I know on AI so far. Thank you. So I want to share the science or science as artificial. It's a science that aims to give computer processors the ability to do tasks that would typically require human intelligence. So um, that's learning, reasoning, thought process. Yeah, it's like a quite it's like nature, reasoning, is kind of either evolution. I mean, must way back in time, so about like for instance, came about by a statement that the father uses actually and can consider and complementing and people side of the parts because compared to yes, that is another thing that that is not so that's so it started quite small and now it's kind of pregnant. Yeah, a whole lot of things. Subcategories. They have computer vision, uh, machine learning, factors, just AI aims to make computers, yeah, simulate human intelligence. And humans are the most intelligent species on the continent. I mean, in the world. So, how can that be achieved? What do humans do? Human communicate. Human must communicate, you know, through language. So, they try to kind of generate their computers communicate to our natural language. So, like, they kind of use them about sentences, information, words, and then talking about that's in the natural languages. And through that, now we have what we call generative AI, ChatGPT, that know about human language and it can really generate something sensible. And then after that, then it's computer vision. So, what do humans, what else can humans do? Humans can see and interpret images. So, computers were also, were trying to make computers do the same. So, they can computer with, images. That's a computer vision. You train computer with images. So, they know, they have by features in the images and no one can keep the right and integrate it. So with that, there is now image generation. Yeah, like mid journey and there is which people are using or human techniques to tracking what happened for their purpose.
Thank Alright.
For me, I would say AI is just a tool and it has been programmed to that this can mimic human intelligence and what humans usually this content from. So recently a friend of mine reached out to me saying an interaction of herself and her AI is no WhatsApp. And it was just talking about expressing her broken heart to an artificial intelligence. And I wonder that why would you do that? Find your either a human, someone you can of course share a part of the news, of course, tell you how to go about this particular person too. And I was really surprised or I wouldn't say it was scared of how humans rely on AI neglecting the human intelligence, neglecting how we can afford, we should be there for one another, like that. So why exactly should you as individual? So I think AI is so its own materials such a way that is the key for basic tasks. And of course, there are several tools that these can be put into work. You could see coming around here, you could see the speaker on the road trying to predict the on and on when you should flow, when you should proceed and on. So you could see that human AI is a thing, AI is just around us and it's we are not being careful enough to know how to harness the power of AI. And that is how I feel we can put it threat to our African language and to answer that we need to AI was created to simulate human intelligence. But it's not just human intelligence devoid of emotions and other limitations that comes with human easily replace partner or so yeah, you like the best parts of human intelligence. However, I think AI also is devoid of certain cultural information, cultural stuff that also makes the human intelligence quite rich. And my introductions to AI on this recent areas, it's how we're wanted some conversation, so giving you a pressure to the existing on AI. I got to treat the perfect growing. That's how it was on house. It was
Well, you have the animal, but you come.
and
That's interesting. All right. Thank you so much, Padres. So let me go to right. In what ways can artificial intelligence be integrated into African literature to enhance our storytelling and contribute to the discovery of emotional writers?
first of all, I'll say that AI, which has been considered artificial intelligence, is really its roles. One of it is just enhancement of our creativity. For instance, we as writers, we have the creativity, we have the inspiration, we have the things that we have that ability to think, be able to write things down. There's it's a we one not based upon we may need some of to set the language. So we need to rely on the effort. So we prefer and in some instances where uh, points out for programs people would like to learn about particular setting. That's to offer with AI to program several digital classes we know how to serve both. Then as a point, actually, I say AI can be integrated into the that's to have insight into how several political styles, several political tools, several political features and models might have been built from images of without just which is almost like you are thinking about the originality or the of computing. So I think that would be kind of with AI so in summary, I would say that AI can help us in enhancing our abilities. We have abilities so it doesn't allow train our program to do what we want to do. So we can do it to enhance our abilities, we can do it enhance our and even even these tools like probably people using in order to ensure that our whole commerce markets before we move on to the professional editor video. So I think we should do it with that. Yeah, it's good. So as with the and so
As well.
Have to learn to adapt to these. What is the best way? You need to look at the pros and cons. If you look at the pros, like who says, I think it's cons, it does help, grammar, it can help you research, it can help you source certain things. Even with the language, you can still find out exactly if you want to research and to learn about that. Uh, um, for example, a student or a writer with dyslexic, they can use AI to, for example, correct something without to point out all the grammatical error. So there's a lot of benefit for students. Um, uh, but I guess as African writers, what we need to do is to be aware of these biases that I spoke about before. Actually, quite close to the conference, I had asked ChatGPT to write a 300, African story for me in a certain setting in a village. And within that setting, you could actually see how biased it was. Because in this setting, there was a sunset, it was in the tree, there was children in the village who were playing, so I think what it does when you do rely on that, it takes you into, for example, how it works in see Africa, because they have a certain narrative. They paint a certain picture when they have Africa. Most common you see when you talk about Africa, about approach, somewhere close, go around and think of Africa and it was like, we live in Africa, we know how diverse and dynamic this is. So I think it is up to us to, first of all, maybe take charge of what we can be if we don't, who within us, within the group, who can actually be in charge or who know people who can actually feed the current system, into that, you know, so it removes the vibe from, our public system. So we actually pretend if we have researched the most common cover completely covered during if you know what is the more common find if you want to explore it. What is the most common African cover? Anybody know? It is a sunset in each table. But that is what especially when the West look at it. But we know there's so much more. So I think, we need to use it how we can take the benefits, also to keep in mind those five in the area and continue to find a way how we can also, part of this change. to change the narrative. We can input information to these governments. Thank you so much. All right, let me move to Nana. Nana, how do you think, as African writers or creators, how do you think we can think AI in a way that will be to our advantage?
Um, so at the end of the day, now I started learning about Japan. So that's where the biases was comes from. But luckily for us, it's not so much of a problem because it's ChatGPT, for instance, the quality of the output you get from it is quality of the prompts you give. Just as our parents said, having good having to get that which you see. So it's training ourselves to get better prompts. You see. So I think I once wrote an article with ChatGPT and I just asked them to write the article for me, give it such an item. And it gave me something very generic. But I sat down, wrote my own draft of the article, and I gave it to ChatGPT to improve it. I saw that there are two different articles. The one with my drafts, like with the information I've given it, was far better than the one generated with just the title. So as writers, we should focus on learning how to write better prompts with our own data. You see, ChatGPT or other AI tools have the ability to also accept information from us and work with that information. We shouldn't rely solely on the data incorporated on, but we can start with incorporating our own data. I also believe Africa as a continent should also start investing in creating these AI tools because we are the ones with the information on Africa. And if we don't show it, I don't think we want to. Thank you very much.
Understand. I like that these AI tools keep improving. There's always a new update for this AI tools. I remember when I challenged on Robot, it had it was limited to three languages at a time. The last time I checked, Robot has more than five languages added to it now. Even to the extent that Robot can translate something in pidgin, Nigerian pidgin. And it's surprising how fast it's picking things from Africa. And I don't know how that it keeps giving us so much information from here and there. So it has penetrated Africa in a way that they are trying to it's copying our style. So now you really have to move a fellow for translation in pidgin or something. So, following that, let me just ask this one. Do you think AI is out to put writers out of business or make writers useless because it's catching up with everything that we are about? Do you think it's here to take us out of business or make us useless as writers? Let me start with two short. Right. Um,
That's a really bad question. But I think it's better to maintain a positive outlook or so that's like this. I think we need to maintain the positive outlook always. Yeah, that's very how this is you know it's not happening. So you can see that they are you know they're not really not really trying how music so I think it's a good thing that we have just need to start and just need content into our native language and vice versa. So yeah, it's not going to take us out of business. You don't really need a human touch because AI is doing all this, all the human emotions and all that. So you don't really need a human touch. Even if you use AI grammar or whatever to, do your best edits, you still need to get an editor. He or she is professional. And then it's all about what do you call it? Catching errors. But sometimes, there's this coherency that you get in focus. So you still need an editor to whole thing. Yeah.
Okay. Um, I don't know if you're aware of this strike that is going on, what's going on in America. Writers, because AI or directors were getting the AI to actually write scripts for them. And what did the actors and writers do? They actually, went on the strike. And this is a very long strike in Hollywood. Yeah, this is a very long strike. What happened? Exactly what you were asking. What did happen when they go out of the job waiting in this? Most probably, this is why they stood up for this. They voiced what their concerns were. And actually, what happened, I'm just going to read this to you. So, under TV Term Studio, you not use AI. Script or created script that has already been written by a writer. So, what's people, right? They're no longer allowed to, so no longer allowed to bring a script from AI and say, use it. Because what did it do? It makes the script writer lose money, lose royalty, right? So it does that. Uh, Making them useless, I think depends. So, when we write using our hands, we say that the brain, has functions, is wired to do something instead of just typing away. And with writing, what happens is that there is creativity. We have creative juices that are produced, and yet the human touch. But when to write the story, you are now not using any brain power. So what it does, eventually, if you become, if you keep on teaching it, well, then you can but you can really be power. It's only you is that getting a current job, I think, depending on which job writing you are, if you are a really new writer, and you are very happy for that. So, for example, the story that I asked ChatGPT to write for me, if you are a writer that looks at it and says, "Oh, this sounds good," but again, in the reach share a story. But I asked, seeing ChatGPT to give me a story of a village in England, somewhere in England, and there was already a lot of similarity. Children who were laughing and playing, and then obviously not the picture, but other, other landscape, very similarities. So I think it's maybe the new writers who don't really want to put in more effort could do their job. The students we're talking about Chinua Achebe, no. And then the question would be, say the RP before Informal Apart was created. Could AI ever create something authentic and things fall apart? The answer is no. And therefore, I said artificial intelligence is not as intelligent as we, make it out to be. So much. Correct.
Yeah, for me, I feel okay. I would think about positive or what as a people are researcher. Yeah, I feel taking someone to it is so for the yes. I feel with someone who says will be speak that individual writer is lazy and feels like an application or this your site and activities. Rather to don't publish that. That's what it feels problem of many writers, especially more many writers these days is that they no longer want to read, they no longer want to recite and so they get to write books. That means we get right now season context calzoni. So for that people show us Florence to have people that as a solutional and authentic and creative to build problem. And that problem is that it most likely such an individual that is easy to read, that is easy to research how to job and also become business. But when I short one, and also, I would say, as a point, there are some instruments, there are some basic things that was present when before we can see your point. And giving your AI this instruction to write a so that it is most times devoid of emotions, devoid of this creativity. It's just all these skill power together, trying to make sense. Makes of course it really doesn't bring out the genuinity in whatever it is putting out. So for that aspect I would say that it's only someone who just only relies on AI that can become useless or out of job. Then in the aspect of research work, I there are several schools these days that do not even allow their students to use of AI in writing academic papers, writing essays, writing essays and all. So in that kind of case, AI cannot take out the researchers to in that. But it will when it takes to just write out research forms solely with AI. And when you send it out to your the editor and all, it's the this whole figures for because and also another thing when I used to use ChatGPT to write the editing, but I realized that you don't even get to see authentic references from these words. So you don't get where were these things coming from? Because as a researcher, you need to have citations, you need to have references to whatever is on the this is that my please can tell you that they are taken from nowhere because there is really no original source to it. So in short, I would say here we are looking at someone's job or maybe the person called uselessly, the person is not constantly relating, the person is not constantly evolving, the person is not constantly reading and researching on how to smart AI. So that's what um, uh, was we asked how they currently also choose machine because I think I would want the video on relational data. So when the internet came about, there were these travel companies. They were doing everything on well, and the internet people, some companies that are going digital. So those that say, oh, the manual, the way we do it in a few years, we lost them. So see, if you don't say for this, you rather lose a lot. But I think writers that do not learn to use AI, okay, stand the chance of losing their job. In as much as you think creativity alone is enough to make you stand out. I think someone who doesn't really they are having one. So for this stage, writers job away. There's I think we can almost that cannot fully utilize them to take their jobs away, but I think writers good writers that incorporates AI into certain aspects of their writing this one process will still have the edge over someone who gets using AI. So I think um, you should learn how to, the writer should learn how to use AI and also still maintain their principal practices. So, as I said earlier, when I wrote an article with I still sat down to write it in my mind. And I now use AI to try to address one or two things. So you don't just say that, oh, I'll use only my mind. You might left out just like me doing.
Thank you so much. Well, this follow-up question. I saw something in relation to an application. It was you call it for journals application. It was called for entries, and they added that do not submit AI generated works. Uh, my question is how will people be able to tell how to do what was generated by AI? Because some people just don't choose it's rejected, still being mass or that. So how do we tell that this is a work generated by AI? So
And so, for someone who has learned AI, something when I see any work generated by AI, I can see easy because it sounds so robotic. When you look into that, recently, I'm in a group chat with a few friends. It was someone birthday, and everybody was wishing them. Just someone who chatting. Yeah, because there are certain keywords that we normally repeat repeating themselves. Again, you know why I'm on the because I don't went there to like research. Yeah. Yeah. But I'm right now going to do that one. I want to like the keep a few minutes to my own the sequence to copy. And you want to see if you want to go to when you brings out the response, how you want yeah, you feel like you will see that role different. And from the start that's like the running right Ghanaians when speaking probably will in some ways. And you Ghana, you want to go and move to where Ghana is feeling. See, you can speak from what people feel not was like Spain. That's why you go to not only use AI soon, but you will try to incorporate your own. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, I'll take my stuff because I remember there was a friend of mine we had a platform people who are interested in selling not going through taking delivery and was solving the proper job. So that was based on Facebook, it's from solutions. And what happened was several people submitted their items, like one stood out. And when this friend of mine listed this about $60, you see that someone will comment that this person on this with AI and the person was actually my testimony because you would see the choice of my pages, some are quite complex and stuff. This person has very privacy. So, and one person made me know on the fact that the person did just really put the job and the person actually editing upon the responses that we get. So I think it is important that regardless of what goes for AI, it's better, it's also important to apply on recently one received different updates on as it improve upon how it is together. Then of course in the research when there are tools in all countries that this work currently done by the years. So those working pages that's this particular paragraphs of last pieces so that we repeat again. So there are some that want to give this to know that people are working effectively and also using some certain ways of certain mechanisms that they will not do that probably the individual that's the just coming out as is illegal. That is illegal. So the important thing is better that as writers, as African writers, it's important that regardless of any so that we use it more than that we have to have human um, very human workman creativity to it in order to ensure that whatever we teach out stands out from the users to the
People who, for the benefit of students here who have been gay and their best friends, could you tell us some of the tools that lectures you determined that these works were generated by AI?
Yeah, one of the steps actually the use body. So that's it. Asking the choices and to let you know what's or the future of you. They still only have access to it. Just later. So the first time I need to choose consider something new. Because I didn't want one that's fast on that. So I just looking at like that would be like, and check progress. Just what it is. Where it's what it is. So what I think that's what's the actual system. There's a thing. You do something now on video what I'm saying. So I would want to look at ChatGPT and something to my so this looks like that's what I want. So I was issue the future of leaders. Yeah. That's why there must be people who do kind of discourage this AI. Because yeah. There's someone but there's something to go out and not to take the comparison, and what I call that. But I can do some at something. But I don't know why. We got some yes. Yes, I think uh,
You. Maybe that's well, like, yeah, it's something about copying. And then all of a sudden, the two comes up to check for plagiarism. And then we are angry about it. But I need to go out to come up and identify the gap to help identify the weak AI generated content. Alright, so this is a second. You know, you can see the mean, for example, the painting, and see the example of the painting by a really famous painter, maybe selling a 5,000 CD. And then you find because you want to look for something cheaper and you're looking for an illustrator who will just charge you 5 CDs, for example. Have you seen the memes of, for example, a beautiful horse and then you have a pencil, drawn image? I feel in a way that then like you're not going to use your creativity, like and how you actually write your story and put it out to check on it. If you just really totally rely on AI to write your story, they're going to be very diluted, and I think the standard of this is very low. Um, you know, I think it's right. You need to make sure you're writing first, and then letting AI to improve it or check grammar or something like that. or something sort of rather submission in family and happening. And few rejection, two stories. And when I talked about it, they said after being questioned, how did you know this was ChatGPT? So often kind of they did the words, they said they can figure out it's chat. Like I said, it's not intelligent. So they delivered it in Tanzania. And when the children had gone to eat, instead of the normal, food like ugali, they said that the children went to buy burgers. So these are some of the, you can figure out that this is not original because, there wouldn't be burgers in that village. So I think that's one of the ways. Thank you so much. So we'll just a final question and responses from our members. Then we'll open the floor for 3 or 4 questions from the panel. From our audience. Sorry. So this will be our last question to the panelists. So we think how have AI influenced ethnicity or voices represented in African relationship? You had great writers from Africa, we still have great writers from Africa who have distinguished themselves. Their words are authentic. Anytime there are mentioned writers in Africa, you can't live without them. Even if they are dead and gone, we still reach their roots. Okay. How can we influence letters to productions? So this bigger function, then the benefits. So we can have
Thank you very much. I think we have two members in see the AI happen to highly used for efficient to make work easier. Um, Most innovations in this world um, were stemmed from people with because they wanted to make their work easier, faster. That's why they brought about this invention. So I think in AI makes a writer's work easier, regardless of the thing. Once I write something, put it to 10 minutes. That's correct. I can have a finished product faster and bring it to market. So it's make African writers writes faster, writes efficient, and we can have more small poems, more African literature out in the markets because there is this thing that's really there is the word. So we must see that these two makes writing very easy. So why wait for the working part of the world to use it to write novels? Currently, we have novels freelance. So we should use it to write more books so that we have more books in the country. Probably we are achieve really influence diversity of choices. I remember 2 days ago when we had a workshop in poetry, we emphasized the fact that we are poetry to find our voice here to be able to when people need you, they consider this voice particular to you as a result of your voice, it could be through your tone, through your style, through titles, to the things you use, and through the skills. So, and I feel in a way it can influence into when it does fully rely on these tools without really incorporating our human intelligence into it. And it can also cause these second sort of thoughts in our languages, in our works out there. So as creatives, as African writers, we need to ensure that we tend to balance it, that we tend to strike a balance between AI and human intelligence so that we don't have a lot of tools out there that do not even represent our identity that do not represent our cultures, our diversities, our languages, our traditions. So we need to be able to ensure that whatever we put out there truly represent us and we don't use our voice to represent You truly look here.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so I think AI is seen to help us as navigates to use the page. And we only know find the really develop this is so and whilst we make use of it. Yes. So one thing to do is you can use machine learning to identify uh, diagrams or this or that. So you could create an application and use AI to identify diverse context for publishers know that you have this which
Correct.
first you use the other your without must stress could be best to look at that we
Thank you very much. What can we do about the diversity? I think number one, we need to be able to take control of what's to AI. That's number one. We need to figure out how that works. Maybe the algorithm, our literature is maybe shown and it appears. You have to remember we have 54 countries. And if you break down each country, for example, in Tanzania, we are around 100. We try add the languages, add the culture, add the food, and then go into each country times four. Makes us very, very diverse. So I have a role to play in what we can control. We need to learn about this. The fountain creator I mentioned, the one that I asked Chechen. So maybe the questions about this diversity would be, say I did print that book. Whose book is it? Because remember the way AI works is that what was fed into it, it mimicked it. So whose work was it that it mimicked? I'm putting my name to that content story, but whose original work is it? The second question and the danger of this is if the original work it was, it mimicked it, it came to me, I put my name to it. Who gets the royalty? And number three is the personal touch. Abdulrazak Gurna, the Nobel Prize winner, was visiting Tanzania, was in Zanzibar a few weeks ago, and there was a hall full of people because they wanted to go to him and ask him what it is that inspired him to write and what he wrote and how the thing that inspired people to go to a writer. In this sunset story, how are we going to ask AI what inspired it? Yeah, so thank you so much. We're not to um, we've had two questions because of time. So is there anyone with a question, please?
Right. But if you want to know how to use AI to do program people, you can ask AI to give you some kind of story ideas, what the writing is, using the sort of writing. Just to give you an idea of what's okay, but doesn't mean you should write a full thing. Just you got something to stimulate your mind to bring out the creativity. Thank you. That one was awesome.
So just to add, say, I feel personally that inspiration are in you, unless you're just listening to right? That's good. And also, whenever you experience sort of writers, which I don't even believe there's a long response, you can take your time to read it, to research that, and of course, have more tips to improve your imagination more. Then another thing would be that you can also text or AI to give you certain tools to give you insight and just into it, making you understand what you want to write. Like, if it's like, you come here with that, as you know,
Just fancy. Sure. Yes. The past, we said a number of things that yes, so easy and the creativity touch to bring it on. I'm really wondering, so that's like different kind of writing, that's particularly when it comes to creative writing. And I don't mean just the regular drama, but fresh particularly because I sometimes go to AI and just see, I just put in things in there and see what it gives me. And it's fascinating. I want us to just sit somewhere, put this in there, even put an idea of what poem you want to write and have that all of that together in a book and actually think of that as authentic. And where do we draw the line, especially when it comes to creative writing and AI? Is this something that you can put in place and say, okay, yes, I don't AI in the writing, but when it comes to this particular kinds of writing, then that's like a no-go area because you have all kinds of books on the market. And what's really authentic about them? I want to be honest. Thank you.
as a poet, I feel that you need to really go through it, especially when it comes to creative writing. You get to see a lot of works out there, more that is the authentic and original work of the writer. So, and able to do that will be that. But I'm pretty much creating high notes there because I know that some people can lead to creativity and writing come with what I would call as far as creative writing is concerned. For content writing, you can use it for cycle, structure, or the structure of the work you can use it. It's creative, but I feel the ability of the writer creativity, what I use to write. You know that also have to study for. You know that's people who have key voice that is not yours. Because what I believe in creative writing is driving voice, right, as a voice. I do have a voice. And what you now have is potential voice all around. You don't even know who's speaking. You don't even know maybe you're even sounding sick. Okay, how what is your weakness now? So I feel that this can be sorted if we just only back on sales without we using our human intelligence. AI is there to manipulate us. I mean, who is AI? Is it not human life? So why should we allow something that is in us to dominate the market and we want to allow it to control our human reasoning, our creativity, our intelligence? So if operating right now, encourage you to even use AI for creative writing on human intelligence. Maybe you want to learn about platform style, if you learn about Atlas structure, about platform, you might need to just have insight into all this. But the actual writing, the actual creative writing process, I not like this.
What African writers as a movement or as an organization doing so that you can get more Africans read because we want to write. But then if you don't read what people write, how will you be creative about your writing? And then also, what software is there for us to use, or any app there for us to access free books? And for those of us who might not want to read so much, maybe you can get the audio version of it to read. So that is my question. Thank you.
Or website you can use to get samples. There's a website called Honest Archive where you have free books. I think majority of the books can free book. I think you should see because once you're using this, the writers who wrote the books are not going to get much money for it because it's basically the embarrassing part. If you insist on women, it's at least archive will directly to be also one the topic of creativity. Okay, and this my belief is everybody's creativity was influenced from somebody else's creativity. See, we are all some of what we've read, what we've seen, what we've heard. So if you've heard Shakespeare, Atayédu, Amada, Umai, the style will probably be a very all these three combined. So we should try to expand. If we want to be more Afrocentric, more African students, these ones influence your style of writing in university. If it's now as a question.
I totally agree with you. I think that we need to tell our own stories. I don't know if you've heard of African Writing Awards. If you haven't, you need to go on the webpage and check it. It's every year. And claiming that it has the biggest pride, in Africa. You can go and search it, and if you're wrong, you can come and tell me. And we also have the Wakili Korea Award, which is for children's literature. Um, Again, I'm claiming it's the biggest or the only children, literature for African stories on the continent. And if I'm wrong, you can let me know. What is the reason we have this? Again, exactly what you asked for, to promote our African story, to give voice to our culture, to our heritage and roots. If you go onto the website, you can actually get a magazine, and it's called the WFA, magazine, which they also write for, they get published most probably. So there is platforms for that as African writers, WFA Writers Space Africa is trying to give opportunities to writers. So maybe later on I can give you the links that you can check out on. If anybody else would be interested, you can Google it. If you just go to this Writer Space Africa, you will find a magazine that you can submit for and the voice that are actual. Yeah, I want to practice. I'm kind of passionate about, which is that it's like here in Ghana, we are not so much as to like adjustments are the books that make us read as the best. Yeah. So I think we need to, have some concentration on that. Most of us, students, sit by our books and then we start closing up because of the attention span. Yes. So when you go home, your nephews and nieces, make sure you read right from that early stage. There is a platform, World Reader, where you can get free books to read, free to read. So it builds your attention span, builds your books, all that.
In addition, I want to add that it's important how we Q is really called to as well as a camera. I know that there are these tools online that can always go to the download books, but this writer is so on years to write so they and you're just going there to download it for free. Is that nice? So I'll say that of course we have bookstores out there where you can get books African books today. So please if it is before you make the next days or 20 days, go ahead and buy these books. And there are also free magazines online because it's really like the brightness of cameras, it's a monthly magazine where you can get to read different works from different genres, poetry, critical fiction, children's so on. So it's one of the need establish this writing really offering that you're just going online, so it's free books. Thank you.
I would like to add something. We've been talking about how we want to support African writers. I think that that's really important is to actually buy their books. For one. Number two, I can't leave without telling you the story of Einstein. How true it is you can go ask ChatGPT. There was a woman that went and asked Einstein, what she can do to make her child as smart as he was. What do you think his response was? He said, make him read storybooks. So she asked again, okay, what do I do? Because I want him to be more intelligent. And his response was, he should read more storybooks. So it's really one thing. Yeah.
Probably house. She says how this is teaching you not something about when the stars. We have ethical rights. The more we stray away from that, the more likely we are to start to doubt and see part of ourselves. And so in terms of creating writing clear, how do we create a balance so that we don't get stuck to solely think like word.
I think you've already answered on the present thing I want to do. What prevented one to actually write the story yourself. So you have now used your creativity, creative juices to write what is meant to be the story and not dependent on ChatGPT to begin with. So you begin the story and later on you can work on ChatGPT to help you improve it. Improve in the sense, maybe grammatical, maybe something, additions or something. So you use the ChatGPT to improve your work, not to do your work. That's number one. Number two, second speaker said that when he writes poetry, he avoids using ChatGPT because he doesn't want it to, come your way. Maybe after you have written what you have to do, and whatever things, after you've done your work, then you can maybe go and ask ChatGPT to produce something, because then you can maybe compare. And I'm 100% sure you'll find yours to be better because yours is the original. And I think we should not forget that, even at the time of AI will never ever replace human creativity. It is, I don't think it's going to be possible because the way we think, the way we write with our experiences and our emotions, but maybe I have no emotions, right? It's fine, but it will never get there. So I would encourage you to just write the first draft and then use it, to improve your work. Do not rely on the church.
You know,
Like I said, 54 countries, multiply the country, the language, food, everything. It's huge. So I'm sure even within Ghana, the countries that you have, I'm sure you have other than. So in order for us to get away from this image of this child of land that had to home of poverty, we as writers need to take control and write our stories. What is the Ramana thing of inventory? The danger of the story, right? Who is going to make this change if it's not us? If we as writers don't say, okay, I'm going to take charge and I'm going to start writing, ChatGPT is not going to do the job for you, and today are looking for a job. So I encourage writers, African writers, to take their pens or their computers or however they write and start writing because we need to, we need our stories to be out there. So more important they are, we need to understand, we will be. So I go back to you and ask you, have you started writing? Something that we can put stories on ChatGPT to help us do this. Okay, I'm a story writer. If I design story notes for you, how is copy the same context to someone? ChatGPT to help improve this. How's the ChatGPT of same context and give it to someone else? Please open. Sorry.
Um, yeah, that's okay. Engineers, you transform this whenever this so that it can be translated. So I don't know they will try not to homework, but once you use to improve your work, make sure you publish it very soon and you can elaborate.
And this is why we think that ChatGPT cannot replace what a human answer can do with that one. And one probability required to work. ChatGPT did not do it exactly what he said. what for story development, composition, your creativity will be used to get to help somebody else produce a story. To see where I feel individual, maybe we need to consider or we need to see where our limits are, what to do, how much help we need from ChatGPT. Was something you realize that whenever you search for something online, Google tries to bring out all the answers that people have shared from years ago, recent, they'll share everything. So that is what these tools also do. When you put in something like write me a love story, you would go and pull out all the love stories that people have written and then present it to you with paraphrase. But so anytime you put in an information, it saves it. It keeps that as data for future use again. So the next time you put in something about write me a joke for children, it would say that whatever you put in, it will save it. Then the next time another person also puts in that same thing to search, it will pull it out, but they will paraphrase it so it doesn't feel the same. So that's how we feed content to AI and then it gives it back to us paraphrase. All right. All right. So thank you so much for your questions. And thank you so much to our panelists. We'll take our last words from our panelists. So in a minute or less, please give us your last words.
What I want to do is
Invention of the Bob African literature in teach. That's why we need to be everyone here should try as much. Like I give the order to try to write more so we can have more data on African literature out here. And also I want to address maybe some concepts we have when we spoke about how artificial intelligence generated information could be satisfy your interest and don't worry, there are ways you can bypass these things and share okay, on other yeah, so we are finding so
Alright, we had that as African research we need to be supportive, we need to support ourselves. Whenever one was we get promotion or so we let us help ourselves in pushing for something. And this is a way for creating us feeling of the love with these our provisions and the house the people are getting to know to know that when we have and this is our identity. And also want that as much as we used to like let us ensure that we do not lose our opportunities. That's why we want to make sure that our human knowledge that capability and creativity and from how parents who are IDC. So I still constantly evolving, constantly improving ourselves and constantly reading, researching in order to optimize impact and then become as number of keep on up. So make up become
fine. And one was I think it's yeah, I think that is all yeah. And I think those names so I guess the trend side of I think that's no one until the lion rings right. The story will always be my so this is our stories. And then you are now I can also read more and then so you still feel that and you sort of move express that from space and then also practice thought. But we not only wait for inspiration to write, just write time and
keep practicing because the writing is like muscle. And it's like a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. Okay. So keep writing. And to also learn much. I'm sure
that have fear that AI may take over our lives. I would like to remind you that when ebooks and Kindle came out, everybody had fear that print books will no longer be used. And they were those that loved to hold them physically were worried. But what has happened? Print books are still around. With and we need to also make sure, that we use it, the tool that you want it, and also to remember that AI never, ever, ever is right. So I need to remember that. I get nothing when it is human authenticity when it comes to written word. So do not be afraid. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our honorable panelists. Let me just emphasize on what they said. First of all, he Joshua said something about book writing and then reading in your journal. The reason why a lot of us are not reading is because we just pick a book to read. But where lies our interest? Have you identified the genre that you enjoy reading? If you haven't, then you will feel ready to read. If you love romance novels, go for that. If you love business and finance, go for it. Alright, so identify where you belong so that you can't give it to me. Otherwise, you keep struggling to me. And let's also remember that you can't produce what you don't have. If you are not feeding your mind, you are not going to produce anything good. You are going to turn rusty. So let's make it a point to read every day. We call ourselves creatives and we want to produce good content out there. If you're talking about the subject of book, I'd like to introduce to you my new book. It is a stage play entitled A Woman's Valley. And it was born in November this year. Thanks to African Writers Conference, I have been motivated to write this book and bring it along. So it's here and it will be part of the books that will be exhibited. Please feel free to take a look at it and I would really appreciate if you can buy it. If you are interested in stage plays, I think this is a good book you can take and then produce it in your school. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Some are for sale, some are just for exhibition purposes. So the 15-minute break starts from now. Thank you. one experience by they will leave you around the company. On arthritis award 2023. And that session is going to be handled by the pen boss, the founder of Arthritis Space Africa, Mr. Andre Njulu.
To have the Continental Award that is created by Africans, funded by Africans, and judged by Africans. Wow, it's true. African, it's with that story as originally as the ones it made. And because it's our culture, we can understand stories a lot better. And we can, of course, award the points to the best story based on highlighted criteria. When we began the conference in 2018, we also decided that it's not enough to mingle and interact, but it's also good for us to project our writing to the public. One way to do it is, of course, through our magazine, but to highlight specific stories that were good, or poems, or flash fiction. That was why we decided to also start the awards in 2018. So in 2018, we have four categories. We have drama, children's literature, flash fiction, and poetry. But in 2019, we took out flash fiction and began to offer prizes in 2020. So the awards in 2018 and 2019, there was no prize, your certificates, recognition, your plaque, whatever it is. But in 2020, we made a slight change and began to offer prizes. But let me start with 2019. In 2019, we lost one of our founding members, Wakini Korea. She's Kenyan. So, and she has done a lot for not just us, but also children's literature. So we get an award honor, the Wakini Korea Prize for Children's Literature. We would also be giving out the award for that prize today. This is the fifth year of the prize. The first position of the prize takes $200, second position $150, third $100. Now last year, we also decided that we wanted to also do something with the newer generation, the younger generation. Because it's not just enough to award, those that are established in the writing field, but also to encourage those that are coming up, the teenagers. So we began what we call the African Teen Writers Awards for prose and poetry. So the winners of the awards will get $100 each. Of course, for the awards, we also did it in partnership with the parents, kind of, because the parents also sent in their details, the children sent their details, and of course, the documents of their parents to be sure that they are actually teenagers entering for the awards. Then the final award is the African Writers Award itself. We started with four genres, reduced to three. But for this year, we decided to make it a little more different. We decided to have just one genre per year. So this year is poetry, and the prize money is $500 with a publishing contract. Next year will be a different genre, perhaps short stories, perhaps mass fiction, maybe drama. We'll announce it later. So with that history, let me announce the let's just let me announce the winners of the awards. For the African Writers Awards, we had about 5 judges from all the regions of Africa, apart from North and Central. And then we had a lot of entries that came in. We, of course, the normal long list, short list. But the winner from this year is somebody who coincidentally was supposed to be here, but he couldn't make the flight just so at the end. In fact, he went with somebody who is actually here to the airport, but he couldn't board the plane. I mean, it's a very painful experience. But the winner for the award, which is the winner of $500 from African Writers Award in poetry, is from South Sudan, and his name is Maria Awendit. Actually, because he sent us an email that he would live stream the event. So Maria, so the African Writers Awards for prose. This one country for still so Ghana was still there next year, I don't know. So for prose, we have Divine Ope from Nigeria. And for poetry, we have Adedokun Ibrahim from Nigeria. So for the last award, the Wakini Korea Prize, which is close to our hearts. That's what we have to keep at all. And our call Canada is not come for and the reason is in the help for the Wakini Prize. So one of the classes here, just for me, I want to be stressed. I don't want to be one of the winners. So in first place, we have Chantal Chiweta from Nigeria. Just first. Second place, we have Lindsay Kachika here from Malawi. And in the third place, we have Grace Tendo Katana from Uganda. Grace far is and very good. So, but
Congratulations to all the winners of the 2015 African Writers Awards. We hope these awards have to everyone to be as also happy. Who knows? God can get it might give you or say you. I'm very happy for you. Alright, now talk to the listener address and I'll call on Mr. Arnold to add the listener address.
For example, conference, my team of meetings for winners. And my big thank you go to the departments, the HOD, Mr. SC, and who for facilitating all the organization throughout the department, the faculty, to the institute. So a big thank you to this way. A big thank you to my colleague lecturers, Dr. Matthew and Mr. Justina for your support. I also want to say a big thank you to all students, all the students. To yourself, to yourself, and so proud of yourself to be a part of this conference, this African Writers Conference. Make sure that we are not stimulation, would have won awards ourselves. Hello, I'm students and answering, they are very good. So the training is now. Next thing we're going to Rwanda. We'll make sure we get the impact back so that we handle. Honestly, start wrong. But on the possible and when you are preparing to present your book with your next month is to then like your book submission. So, so, not even twice time. You have all you achieve. So, bring up your authenticity that your own frequentless African authenticity. I must say, we really had an exciting moment. We have everything that is out today. And this will be a memorable event in our minds, in our archives for a long time. And, the organizers will find some other years and come back down and so hopefully again and again in our programs. It's been a very beautiful partnership with the environment about patient skills and the African branches and space. Thank you so much. Boss, thank you so much for your motivation and I'm since thank you so much and have a beautiful day. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Arnold. First, I would like to introduce my name again. My name is Comfort Nana Comfort Street. I'm a poet and a member of Writing Space Africa Ghana. And I'll come by the way to Miss Ewa Shane to give the water. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Gratitude to God
and Allah for bringing us this far, making the conference such a success. I would also like to thank our partners, the African Emeritus Development Trust, Alliance Française, EANASE Library, WSA Ghana, and then UNIMAC IG, specifically the Department of Language and Communication Skills, Mr. Bill, all of our lecturers, and you, the students, thank you for coming. Without you, I'm sure this place would have been empty. Yes, so thank you. I'm doing well. Thank you so much. And also, I'd like to thank our moderator, our panelists, and everyone who contributed to making this program a success. Also, our live streaming guys, thank you for coming. Thank you for your service. And thank you again to everyone. Quick announcement to round off the AWS, we're going to have a picnic at Legon Botanical Gardens. It's going to start at 10 a.m. So if you can just pass there. Nobody you know, I think you just take a few hours. Also, United States Africa, the mother organization, is open for members. If you are interested in joining, you can meet me at the back to write me. And as far as they are willing to learn to write, we will get better. And there's also snacks, as mentioned earlier, but due to the number, it's going to limit to only 30 students. So please bear with us.
Whose country meetings or